So good morning and welcome back. Welcome back for the 2024-2025 school year and Convocation Assembly. It's great to be back. Great to see all of you. Thank you. Before we get too far into the program, I do want to give a big round of applause to Lori Paul and the entire ELPS food service staff for the incredible treats this morning. They always do a fantastic job, so be sure not only to thank them, but grab a treat on your way out as you exit for the buildings. So this morning, celebrating with us, we have Greg Thompson, School Committee Chair, Amy Delenta, School Committee Member, a special guest you'll hear from later, Ms. Bonnie Rivera, ELEA Co-President Abby Steiner, and ELEA Co-President Chris Norden. Without further ado, Ms. Delenta is going to welcome you and offer a few remarks on behalf of the school committee.
Good morning, esteemed educators, administrators, and support staff. I stand before you today not just as a school committee member, but as a parent, a current teacher, and a member of this community who has seen firsthand the profound impact you have on our children, our families, and our community. Your dedication is the bedrock of East Longmeadow, and I want you to know that your efforts do not go unnoticed. I see you. I see you arriving at school before the sun rises, long before the first bell rings, preparing your classrooms with meticulous care, hoping that today you'll reach that child who's been struggling to grasp a concept or find their place. I see you in the quiet moments where you're preparing for tomorrow's lesson or writing an encouraging note on a student's homework, believing that maybe your words will make a difference. I see the hours you spend often at your own kitchen tables, grading papers, crafting lessons, and wrestling with how to make history come alive, or how to make math less daunting, or how to make that shy student believe in their voice. I see you noticing the slump of a shoulder or the hesitation in a voice. I see you in the hours after school when the halls are quiet, but your work is far from over. I see the joy in your eyes when a student finally gets it, that light bulb moment that makes all the late nights and early mornings worth it. But I also see the heartbreak when you feel like you've done everything you can and it still doesn't feel like enough. I see the tears you hold back, the frustrations you swallow, and the sacrifices you make because you believe in what you do, even when the outside world sometimes fails to see it. Make no mistake about it. I see the way you take on roles that no one talks about. The nurse, the counselor, the confidant, the advocate. I see the sacrifices you make, the hours with your own families that are sometimes cut short because there's always just one more thing to do for your students. I see you rushing out the door in the morning after you're bringing your own sick child to the doctor just to make it to work on time. I see you attempting to schedule some time for your own passions or care, only to cut it short because of life's pressures weighing on you. I see you balancing the stressors of everyday life and living and continuing to show up as your authentic self every single day. I see you putting your own needs last. I see the impossible balancing act of what it takes to manage life and also be outstanding at one's job, as you are. I see you doing it, sometimes to the point of exhaustion, every single day. And today I'd like to say it loud and clear, I see you. The true impact of your work cannot be measured in grades or test scores or data. They are felt in the hearts of your students who carry with them the lessons you've taught long after they've left your classroom. What you do, the love you pour into your work, the care that you give, the patience you show, ripples out far beyond the classroom walls. Today, as we stand on the threshold of a new school year, I ask you to hold on to that truth, that you are seen, that you are valued, and that the work you do every single day makes an extraordinary difference. Know that when you walk into your classrooms this week, you carry with you the gratitude of a community that recognizes the unseen and unspoken labor of love that you give to our children. As you prepare to face the challenges and triumphs of the coming year, remember that you are not alone. We stand with you, we support you, and we are profoundly grateful for the countless ways that you go above and beyond for the children of East Long Meadow. You are seen, appreciated, and deeply valued, every single one of you. Thank you for all that you do, and I wish each of you a terrific start to the school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Delenta. Wow, that was incredible. I'm going to have to rewrite my entire speech now. She summed it up beautifully. Thank you so much. Another round of applause for Ms. Delenta. Now a few words from our ELEA co-presidents, Ms. Norton and Ms. Steiner.
Hi everyone, my name is Abby Steiner and I work with Chris Norton as co-presidents of the East Long Meadow Education Association, the ELEA. New this year, I am transitioning back to working as a speech-language pathologist with a focus on assistive technology. I'll be traveling between our 5 buildings, so likely you'll see me hustling to get to where I need to be. Welcome back to school and welcome to the collective power of your union. As a member of the ELEA, you are also a member of the Massachusetts Teaching Association and connected to the power of roughly 117,000 active and retired educators.
MTA members across the state are organizing to address the common issues of living wages for paraprofessionals, fair wages and benefits such as paid family leave for all educators, and having adequate staff and resources to support student mental health. As union educators in Massachusetts public schools, you are all making, an incredible difference in the lives of your students. Our work is important and our work can be difficult. Please remember you are never alone in this work. As a member of the ELEA, you are part of something bigger than any one of us, and that supports all of us.
We urge you to stay connected to your colleagues and your union. Please review the resources that are posted on the ELEA bulletin board within your building, and better yet, attend one of the monthly ELEA Executive Committee meetings. Please get involved. If you are a new educator, share your insights and your observations. If you're a veteran, share your wisdom and your perspective. Let's work together to make this a great year for our students and for all of us supporting their success.
You will be receiving the next couple days a contact sheet that will have emails, phone numbers of the ELEA Executive Board in the mailboxes. They'll also be posted in the faculty lounges. Feel free to reach out to us. If you look at it, make sure that you know who your building reps are. Reach out to them first, get to know them. But you can always reach out to Abby and I as well. And we thank you and have a great school year.
Thank you, Ms. Norton and Ms. Steiner. There seems to be a theme evolving here as speakers get up. Together, we do better, which is always true. And that's a good segue to welcome our new staff members. Every year, we're excited to introduce our new staff members. We had a fantastic day with this group on Friday. They bring a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm as they become part of the ELPS family. Well, first up, we'll start off at Meadowbrook with Principal Renee Lodi, and she'll introduce the new staff at Meadowbrook.
Good morning, everybody. For paraprofessionals, I would like to welcome Kelly Kula into a new role at Meadowbrook. Connor Hansen also into a new role as a para at Meadowbrook. And new hires, Asia Schaefer, Megan King, and Madison McCarthy as paraprofessionals. I'd like to welcome Catherine Sasser as our new educational team leader. Katie Petito and Michelle Pelletier as our new school counselors. Kristen Siska as our new social skills teacher. Stephanie Staubel as our new second grade teacher. Celia Huard as a new preschool teacher. And I'm very happy to welcome Kate Lyden as our new assistant principal over the next coming weeks. Thank you, everybody, and have a great year.
Thank you, Ms. Lodi. And now we move to Mountain View and someone who I believe was recently honored in the Reader Raves poll for her work as principal at Mountain View, which deserves a round of applause. Mrs. Santanello will introduce the staff of Mountain View.
Oh my God. Hi everyone, welcome back. We have 4 new staff members at Mountain View. Alex McNulty, grade 5 ELA. Ryan Schneider, music. And 2 paraprofessionals, Priscilla Vasquez and Nadia Mujahid. Thank you, have a great year.
Thank you, Mrs. Santanello. Now we'll move to Maple Shade, and Principal Connor Martin will introduce the new staff at Maple Shade.
Thank you. That's old. We got this one in the spring. Good morning, everybody. All right, so up first in 3rd grade, we would like to welcome Rachel Riley. Rachel. Joining us in 5th grade, moving from paraprofessional to long-term sub, we have Alana Lamascolo. Joining us next week as our new school adjustment counselor, we have Jen D'Souza. Stepping into the role of paraprofessional, we have Carrie Bouchard. Joining us on a full-time basis this year, also as a paraprofessional, Sarah Castle. Rejoining us as a long-term paraprofessional sub, we have Bella Barrios. We have a 5th grade teacher who is permanent now. We want to welcome Seth Stutman. And we want to welcome our ETL, who is stepping out of the classroom but still staying with us, Shayna Cosentini. And then I would like to thank Mountain View for sharing the following 2 individuals who will be helping us out. We have Amy Pelzik as our school psychologist. And Ryan Schneider, who will be helping out with band. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. And now moving to the secondary level, we'll go to Birchland Park and Principal Steve Pearson.
Morning, everybody. Glad to have you at Birchland. Okay, joining our staff this year in art, we have Maxwell Moraz. Go ahead and stand up, don't be shy. Come on, Max. All right. Joining us to teach instrumental music, we have Danielle Horan. In 8th grade math, we were fortunate to get Jan Zimmer. Our new school psychologist will be Megan Shepard. Andrea Sargentanis is joining us as our evaluation team leader. As paraprofessionals, we're welcoming Alex Davis. And returning to us after a one-year absence, now in a paraprofessional role, Gary Blanchett. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Welcome to our Birchland staff. And Mr. Page is already up here, so we'll go to the high school and the new staff of the high school.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So we have a pretty significant number of staff that we'd like to welcome to Spartan Nation. So first, math teacher Jeff Sitnick. Yeah, Jeff, there you go. Our graduation coach who's transitioning to a guidance counselor position, Miss Beth Meehan. And to step into that graduation coach role, Dan Reed. New social studies teacher, David Estabrook. Yeah, Dave, there we go. We have a new band director, Raymond Cole. New English teacher, Kristen Faulkner. Special education teacher, Paul Scoville. For a long-term chemistry substitute, we have Kathy Daly, coming back to us, former retiree. We did hire a new custodian this year, George Orta. And we have 3 new paraprofessionals. First, we have Ashley McCarthy, Tom McDonough, and Kendra Dollar. Then I would also like to welcome back as paraprofessionals who've been away from us for a couple of years, Megan Weiss. Where are you at, Megan? We do have 2 new district employees that are going to be partly housed at the high school, but they're going to be working at all 5 schools. One, already referenced, Abby Steiner, SLP. And then our new unified PE teacher, Mackenzie Polini. Okay, thank you everybody. Welcome to Spartan Nation.
Thank you, Mr. Page. As you can see, it's a large group. It's an enthusiastic group. Can we have another round of applause for all our new hires? As we come back together this morning, I'm always excited and re-energized as I look out and see all of you come together, all of you greet each other, and catch up as though it was just June 14th. Not as excited that we're holding up the wall in the back, plenty of seats up front. That'll be the last public service announcement. But here in ELPS, we have an incredible amount of cumulative talent, skill, and creativity, and it's all present and on exhibit in the room as you come back together. It's amazing. And it allows us each year to reset and learn how to best apply these strengths and skills to engage our current students each new school year. The collaborative approach that we have built on over the last few years allows for easy sharing of new ways to connect and build relationships with each other and with our students. What we create at this time of the year is the foundation for all success throughout the rest of the school year. This year, as you just saw when we introduced our new staff members, And also last year, we have an incredibly large group of new staff coming in the last 2 years, more than we've seen in previous years. And it's so exciting because when you bring in new staff, it infuses the district with new and valuable experiences, perspectives, and unique skills. As we welcome new staff into the strong collaborative environment that we've built, we all become better educators, which ultimately better serves our students. I find it always incredible to watch each year how all of you welcome back your students, team with, and learn from your new colleagues. The growth mindset and strong desire to continue to learn and improve on your craft is always on display throughout the district, and it's incredibly inspiring. So I thank you for approaching each new school year this way, and please give yourselves a round of applause. And we know that this all begins today and tomorrow as we work with each other in our buildings to prepare for our students' return on Wednesday. So keep your energy level high and your openness to new things consistent. You never know from where that new idea, that key idea that could be pivotal to greater success in the new school year will come from. The really cool part of being an educator is that you have a fresh start every single year. This is why we feel the butterflies and we feel our energy level rise as the calendar goes past the middle of August. Take a moment over the next few days to breathe, reflect, and enjoy everything that's going on around you. Your ability to utilize all of these things put together to have a great start to the school year is incredible. Believe it, be confident about it, and put it into place starting on Wednesday. Carrying on with that theme, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Ms. Bonnie Rivera, ELHS class of 1997, and current world language teacher at ELHS.
Good morning to you, my colleagues and my friends from ELPS. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bonnie Rivera, and I'm a Spanish teacher at East Long Meadow High School. I would like to again show my gratitude to Gordon Smith for giving me this opportunity to reflect on the themes of today: engagement, partnership, and connection. I'd like to pair them with my own, which are impact and inspiration. As my story goes, I am a Spartan through and through. My father and his 3 siblings were all graduates of ELHS. My mother was the only West Side Terrier in our house. My father, Dennis, and my mother, Cindy, are here with me today, if they could stand. I am the oldest of the 4 Wait girls. I graduated in '97. My twin sisters, Andrea and Erin, were the class of '98, and my youngest sister, Candace, was the class of 2000, and she's also here with me today. Unbelievably, now my 2 children, Nicholas and Victoria, will be graduates of the classes of 2027 and 2029, respectively. They're here with me today, and they may have grown a little bit since the last time you saw them. I also want to introduce my husband, Tony, who has helped me raise these incredible Spartans. My parents will tell you that at 5 years old, I already aspired to be a teacher. I asked them repeatedly for a chalkboard, and when they wouldn't buy me one, I pulled down my window shades and drew all over them. When they saw that happening, let's just say that a chalkboard was immediately hung in my room. I spent kindergarten and 1st grade at Mountain View and later attended 2nd through 4th grades at Maple Shade. What is an impactful memory that you have from your elementary grades? In September of 1986, I vividly remember my first day with Mrs. Davis in the 2nd grade. I was having a hard time because everything and everyone was so new. That morning, I had packed my Kusa in my backpack. These were the Cabbage Patch dolls. They're pets of the 1980s. I may have told Mrs. Davis that it was in my backpack, and I imagine when she saw the look of angst on my face, she knew I would feel better if I could just cuddle him at my desk. And once I had him in my arms, the anxiety disappeared and I could focus. This was a significant thing that Mrs. Davis did for me. So significant that it's one of my core memories sitting here 38 years later. We know that we truly impact our students by showing empathy and making them feel comfortable in our classrooms. In 5th grade at Birchland, I met Mrs. Berry. I remember her warmth, her energy, and her never-ending encouragement. I have never forgotten what she said to me on the last day of school. As I exited the exterior door of the old Birchland Park, she called to me and said, "Bonnie, keep reading and writing," and I've never stopped. A picture of her and I at her retirement party hangs in my classroom as a reminder of her impact and influence on my childhood and career. In 6th grade, Mr. Matulowicz not only effectively taught me, but was endearing and allowed me to be myself, which was important to me, a very quiet student with minimal self-confidence. Though I was only 11 years old, he insisted I attend Westfield State College for education when I told him I wanted to be a teacher. As a sophomore at ELHS, my father's former Spanish teacher was then my teacher. Senor Dowling engaged me with his humor, constantly making me laugh with the funny doodads he had in his classroom. Who didn't like being hit on the head with a plastic squeaky mallet? More importantly, he sparked my interest in languages. In 11th and 12th grades, I took Spanish 3 and 4 and French 1 and 2. Senora Sullivan, Madame E. Paul, and Madame Ferreira were impactful and inspiring with their stories of living abroad and their constant interactions in the target language. They invested in me and created a positive, energetic rapport, which made me want to work hard and make them proud of me. When we partner, connect, and engage with our students, we see this happen. During all 4 years at ELHS, I was a member of the Future Teachers of America Club advised by Mr. Calabrese. I worked with teachers at Mountain View and Birchland as they prepped and taught their lessons, and I was able to teach lessons of my own. My senior year, I was back with Mr. Matulowicz. We impact our kids with our encouragement and the interest we take in them. We inspire them with our words and our actions. Who impacted you and was your unforgettable teacher? Until my senior year as an avid reader and writer, I had clear goals to become an English teacher, but eventually I began to realize how much I enjoyed Spanish. I applied to Westfield State College, remembering Mr. Matulowicz's advice, and began my secondary education and Spanish program, later spending an unforgettable, life-changing semester on exchange in Cayey, Puerto Rico. In 2000, I met Chris Tarvett, better known as Senor Tay at Birchland Park, and Mina De Carvalho, better known as Miss D at Central High School in Springfield. I later completed my practicum with both of them. I am very blessed to have these two impactful mentors in my life who have inspired me to become the teacher I am today. They're here, and I'd like to ask them to stand so we can recognize them. In 2002, I was extremely lucky to be hired by Richard Ficero, and I began what is now my 22-year career at East Longmeadow High School. I still remember being at Convocation when they called me to stand in this room to introduce me as a new teacher. I remember the cheers of support, and it meant so much to me. To those of you who stood today, we are so excited to have you join our community. You will remember this moment. And regardless of time in the system, I hope you all remember your moment as well. As a teacher over the years, in an effort to further develop my impact, I have strived to reach out to parents, building the home and school connection. I recall an interaction with a parent via email in regards to her daughter's educational plan, where I confirmed my commitment to her. Mom's reply was full of gratitude. As a teacher, but also as a mother, I felt her emotion and appreciation. This experience made me realize how effectively I can impact and inspire my students and their families. Our connection and our rapport with students can impact them in ways we don't realize and sometimes never will. I focused on rapport, and my most rewarding experiences have not necessarily been with our most outspoken or academically driven students. I've connected with and impacted those who have struggled. Seeing improvement in progression in these students has been rewarding and unforgettable. Let's not forget about the students who have impacted and inspired you. Who comes to mind and what effect have they had on you? In 2014, Tony and I enthusiastically moved our family to East Longmeadow from Springfield to live in the house where I grew up. Gordon asked me for my perspective as a mother, and when people ask me how my kids are doing, I always tell them, those two have exceeded my expectations. And I have to give credit where credit is due to each and every one of their teachers. I want to remind some of you of your impact and inspiration. Nick and Tori were blessed to start both of their journeys with the dynamic duo that was Mrs. Lavin and Mrs. Condon, two fabulous educators, hands down. Their future, absolutely. They're amazing. The further experiences at Meadowbrook with Miss Elkay, Miss Kamayer, Miss Sanchez, and their incredible paraprofessionals, specialist teacher, and support staff were what any parent could have hoped for. My children were engaged, excited, and challenged, and at that young age, I sent them all to you with trust and admiration. At Mountain View, Miss Shabelli, Miss Lorenzo, Miss Shea, Miss Ty, Miss Haran, Mr. Quay, Miss Creelman, and their support staff successfully and resiliently brought them both through COVID, taught them how to play the violin and the saxophone, got them interested in science, engineering, and architecture, and prepared them very well for middle school. The amazing teachers and support staff on the Amber, Jade, and Garnet teams have made those 3 years of my children's education that much more enriched and memorable. The encouragement and support has been impeccable, and their achievements are a testament to you, their educators. Last year, as a freshman, with the help of his tremendous teachers and coaches, Nick navigated a year of academic, athletic, and musical success, and I thank all of you who were involved for their impact and inspiration, including Miss Cordova, who Nick chose as his confirmation sponsor in May. I want to show gratitude to the bus drivers who safely drove our kids to school, the nurses who monitored Nick's allergies and took care of both kids when they were sick, the cafeteria workers who served them with a smile, administration who held them to high expectations, and their guidance counselors who were their allies on this journey. You all have impacted not only my children, but all in ELPS. I want to remind my colleagues at the high school what an impact you had on our exchange students, Mateo from Spain and Cheyenne from France, during their time as part of our family. They will have memories of their time here forever, and you will be part of those. Mr. Van Buren, AKA VB, made a lasting impression on Mateo, and Cheyenne never stopped talking about Mrs. Kelly and was so sad to say goodbye to her. In East Longmeadow, our town and our students are quickly evolving. Technology, culture, educational and emotional needs and childhood experiences are different. And yet we have to impact them. We have to inspire them. And we want to do both of those things. It's why we became teachers, right? In my heart, I know I can do it. And I know you can do it too. I've seen it. I want you to continue to impact and inspire your students. You instill confidence, make learning relatable, and create environments that encourage curiosity and involvement. You encourage them with memorable activities, giving them voice and choice. Let them cuddle their favorite stuffy to ease anxiety, and make them laugh and show your energy, enthusiasm, and passion. Even the toughest ones need to be nurtured, supported, and given the chance to show you who they are. Don't forget how incredible you can be, and that in past and future years, your students have been and will be telling stories about you and how you've impacted and inspired them. Let's begin this year with partnership, connection, engagement, optimism, and energy. We really are an incredible community. Here's to an exceptional first day of school and our first paycheck.
I don't know that you can say it any better than that. So I'm going to wish you all the best. Let's make this a great year together. Thank you.